So today I want to talk about self-talk. Those are the thoughts that sort of pop in our head and we just sort of let them go or we act upon them. The University of Southern California suggests in a study that people have between 60 to 80,000 thoughts pop in their head every day. Unfortunately, the greatest majority of those are negative. And if you think that's bad, most of those negative thoughts that pop into our head have popped into our head before. These are things that we think regularly. They just keep coming back and getting into our heads. So, are we who we think, or are we more in control of our thoughts and what happens when these things just pop in? The idea of the imposter syndrome is sort of like how some people think about this. We all know what that is, and that's not believing that I deserve this position, that I deserve this responsibility, that I deserve this job. If anybody actually found out, then I would probably not have the job at all. That's the imposter syndrome. Where does that come from? These are these negative thoughts that are driving us to act. So, what can we do about this? So, while we all have little thoughts pop into our head every day, 60,000 times, when they're negative, the best thing to do might be to just listen to them, move on. Because, see, sometimes what we think actually happens. If we allow ourselves to go down this path of harboring and focusing on the negatives, then that probably is going to have a big impact on us. I find that for me personally, and for some of the leaders that I coach, they're so much better productively when they think and act positively. This doesn't mean that they don't have negative thoughts pop into their heads too. It's just that they don't act on them. They don't really give that thought much credence. It's just sort of like, that's interesting, move on. They know that what they are is who they are, and who they are is someone that's very positive and, in fact, inspires others. That's why they're called leaders. The Talmud suggests we see things not as they are, we see things as we are. So, literally, the way we perceive our surroundings has everything to do with how we think and what thoughts we tolerate. As we wrap up this year, moving into the holidays, this may be a great time to think deeply about how are we thinking literally about ourselves. Most importantly, are we choosing to act upon those little negative things that pop in on a daily basis? Remember, what we think sometime actually happens.